Hi guys, it's Jim here with an update video for More Boats. More Boats is kind of just the loose name I'm giving to this period of a few months where I'm working on my artistic practice and kind of exploring making boats. If you want to know why that is and some of my concerns around it, you can go to jimlockey.com where I'm currently keeping a blog all about the project, but I'm going to try and keep things really brief here and just show you some of my experiments with plastic. My first one is this one. So this has been made with some offcuts of milk bottle as well as the bottle tops from fizzy drinks bottles, and it makes a lovely pattern. And this is a really solid bit of plastic. It's which I'm kind of thinking of as like an ingot. We've created a raw material here. This can be sawn, this can be polished, this can be machined, drilled in any number of ways to make stuff. So that's really cool and encouraging. The thing about this though, so this is made by putting all those bits together in an oven, heating them up to about 150 degrees. It doesn't melt, but it gets really kind of malleable and sticky, a bit like toffee. And then, so did that, bunched it all together, and then it's just a matter of heating it up again, folding it over, heating up, folding it over till you end up with, you know, something thick and hard like this, which is cool, but it's a bit kind of rough and wobbly. If you want to get something more useful, kind of like a brick, or that can be more versatile for making stuff, that's going to involve me having to make some molds and be able to make sure I can put it under much more pressure in order to squeeze any air out and that kind of things. In fact, the ideal way to use this is to use an extruder, which then becomes kind of a completely industrialized process. And whilst there ain't nothing wrong with that, for this project I want to keep things fairly lo-fi. So I'm kind of, in some ways, I'm trying to reach back nostalgically to some ancient boat building traditions, kind of coracles in the UK, things like birch bark canoes in the Americas, and dugout canoes from like Polynesia and around the world. These kinds of single occupancy vessels we've had for thousands of years and are an extremely important part of how we got here to where we are today as a species. You can read much more about that on the blog. Anyway, so what I want to do is use materials that are as abundant to us today as things like trees and animal hide was all those years ago. Obviously, to use those things today is a completely different proposition, what with you know, the environmental concerns that we have today and that we know about today. That wasn't so much of a concern when in the pre-industrial era. So it doesn't feel like that me cutting down a tree and making a boat in exactly the same way would quite work. Like, it would be pure nostalgia at that point, nostalgia for something I don't really know. So what I'm trying to replicate is having a kind of intimate knowledge for a material that is abundant all around you. Like, if the people who made those boats back then were here today inventing boats, they wouldn't be using the same materials. They'd probably use something like milk bottles because they're so crazy abundant. The other thing I made was this. Doesn't this look amazing? This I'm much more excited about because it was much easier to make. Also, I don't know anyone else that has done this. Lots of people are recycling plastic, doing amazing things with plastic, using technique such as what went into making this. This is different. So this is a sheet of plastic made from milk bottles. And what I did is I cut the bottles and essentially flattened them, made a net basically out of the milk bottle, and then I tessellated all those flattened milk bottles together and heated the seams to create this one sheet. The particular method I used was an iron and an ironing board. However, there are many different ways you could use to apply heat and kind of weld these pieces together. I'm really pleased with how this has turned out. It was very quick, it's very simple, and also it will, if we keep going, kind of create a weatherproof, almost like a fabric that I could use to skin a canoe or a coracle, and in that way it feels somewhat more authentic to those traditional boat building things. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet and not explain too much further. It's all on the blog if you want to read kind of about stuff. Yeah, so main thing is to show you the results of today, and I'm really looking forward to, in the coming weeks and months, showing you a boat made out of milk bottles. That's the plan. Let's see if I can do it. Thanks a lot. See ya.